Hello, everybody, and welcome to the April 11th Product Analytics Group Sync. I will share my screen in a moment, and we can get started with the build board review. Cool. Hopefully, everyone can see my screen here. Thumbs up, thank you. And we've got the milestone planning issue, which we can go ahead and skip for now. We've got fetching dashboard configurations from the backend, which is still in scheduling. We've got logging and implementing the CH proxy, which have had some progress, but we're kind of in a holding pattern for now until we get a little bit further along what we need out of them. And a couple issues that are ready for design, but I don't believe Kevin will be joining us for this call. So we can just go ahead and jump over to perhaps, well, I guess what's in ready for development, or that one's still the same from last week, I think. So I'm not sure if there's any update there. Suppose we can get into issues that perhaps Alan or Ellen you're working on. So can go into in review then. We have updating the product analytics funnels API to return Snowplow compatible SQL. Alan, anything you want to call it here?
That should be in verification. That got merged this morning.
Nice. You also have the other issue right now for updating the dashboard configuration to work from the configure dashboard repository, which is also in verification. Anything else of note?
I think that GM was trying to get his thing merged. He did verify that though, so I think we can put that closed.
Okay.
Yeah, there were some bugs there. That's why it was still in verification, but I think all those have been verified. So
got it. Yeah, I think Jan is unblocked there, but if there are any other bugs, we can perhaps add those as follow-ups then. Ellen, I don't think we have any issues on the board here. Is there anything you're working on that you wanted to call out as far as the what's in progress?
Not really. My last two things got merged while I was away on leave. So that was the panels empty state and the schema updates.
Nice.
So this morning I'm going to be looking for something new to pick up.
Nice.
I've not currently got anything on the go.
Sounds good. Awesome. Then I think that's a pretty quick build board review. This is still on hold because we are going to be updating the clusters to have Snowplow and Kafka. As I mentioned briefly before the recording, Max is working on updating the product analytics initialization worker with the Snowplow configurator service. So this is kind of the first of many things we'll need to update in terms of adding additional functionality, to support Snowplow. And then we will switch over to that and then start to delete all of the Jitsu specific stuff. But before we do that, we want to make sure everything from the onboarding flow to anything we need to be able to show dashboards to people and actually use the Snowplow version of our stack is working properly before we get rid of all the older Jitsu functionality. So currently writing some issues out to kind of map that out in terms of all the dependencies there. But there should be some new issues there that we'll be able to pull in for perhaps this milestone or definitely for the next. So before we finish the build board review, just taking a look at our bookmark of hosting the Snowplow collector inside the product analytics deployed cluster. We've got reflecting errors in the product analytics state GraphQL query. Alan, anything to call out with this closed issue?
No, that was the issue that was preventing the other one from getting merged. So
gotcha. Cool. And then Max has completed creating the cube schemas to read from Snowplow generated columns. Halil has consolidated and pulled out one feature flag that we actually did need to be separate. And then the saving customs dashboards to other repo and dashboard designer. Lorenz has a spec violations fix. Not sure if there's anything to call out there. And then Ellen, to your point, you had two issues that were closed and merged while you were away. Anything you wanted to call out with these issues specifically?
No, not really.
Great. This we just moved, and then we have updating the analytics app to retrieve the stack state from the new API, which is something related to some changes we'll have to make for Snowplow. But yeah. Anything else before we wrap up the build board review? Cool. Then as far as what is left on the agenda, James, you have a point here.
Yeah, I just wanted to call out, this is late breaking. I just saw it in product. There's some iteration on the definition of alpha and beta. The TLDR for us is we'll merge the first user and alpha phases together. So I'll be working on those FX today and then closed and open beta. So when that actually merges, I will be doing that rather, not preemptively. But that's probably coming. So it shortens up the amount of betas than pre-release stuff will do, but just makes it a little bit longer for us.
So does that ultimately result in like a slower drip as we go through the alpha phase, like we onboard a handful of customers and then eventually a select list, and then at that point we just go from closed release to open release?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Cool. And then as a last minute point, in addition to all the Snowplow integration stuff, I may have been tossing around a couple of different epics in terms of bringing your own cluster and exporting data and things like that. James, thank you for writing this down. Working on kind of better defining those. But of course, our main priority right now is just making sure that we have the stack in a stable position in terms of, we're finishing our integration with Snowplow, removing all the Jitsi stuff so that we can say, hey, this is what we expect from our stack. And then we can continue down one path of continuing to stabilize and mature that in terms of an infrastructure and production readiness point of view, and then that will unblock us as a group from a feature development point of view to be able to focus on things like, Alan, you've been doing some investigation into connecting the cluster at different levels, from the instance level now to the project and potentially even group level, as well as any kind of UI around that, in addition to exporting how that whole flow is going to work out, how we're going to actually interact with the stack at that point, and other feature developments and other polished things we can do with things like the dashboard designer and the visualization designer and things like that. So we're kind of in like a little bit of a holding pattern right now, but we'll hopefully be able to unblock a lot of that and have a ton of issues to pull in soon. Cool. Well, is there anything else anyone would like to bring up? All right, then it's a short and sweet product analytics sync. Good to see everyone. 20 minutes back, and have a good rest of your Tuesday or Wednesday.